Hey everybody, John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, we're going to go through and introduce you to every one of our farm animals. So we have 5 alpacas, we have 50 chickens, we have 3 beehives, and 2 stupid dogs. We also have a barn cat, a chinchilla, and a parakeet devil bird.
He's a Senegal parrot.
So this is our dog Peanut, one of our dogs. She's a Great Dane. We got her 2 years ago, and so she's a little over 2 years old. 2 years and maybe 6 months or 4 months, something like that. She is the sweeter of our 2 dogs. She's very nice and gentle, even though I'm just getting a nice shot of her butt right now. But she's mainly calm and nice. She's very sweet and loving and kind. And she gets the zoomies and runs around a lot more so than our other dog Pepper, who's more of a
cow?
Yeah, more of a cow.
Oh, not.
She just kind of lumbers around. Peanut's more athletic.
Peanut, can you sit? Can you sit? Oh, that's such a good sit. Hey, can you sit? Good. Could I have your paw? Excuse me, Peanut.
Can you sit? Paw. So this is Pepper. She is a Great Dane. She's just a couple weeks younger than Peanut. Last time we had her weighed, she was 164 pounds of pure, solid dog meat. She's okay. She's a little bit of a princess. She makes a lot of noise. But she's okay. So they do a good job of, what do they do a good job of?
Eating, making a mess in the apartment.
They do a great job of eating, great job of making a mess. Yep, slobbering all over everything.
Pepper. Kiss. Pepper.
So Pepper's also lazy.
She's big.
And big. They are very nice with the alpacas. When we first brought them out to introduce them, they barked non-stop. We had to keep them on the leash, but that really only went for the first day. After that, they were very interested, and we've actually had several moments where they have touched noses with the alpacas. Very nice. We do have to be really careful when it comes to the chickens and letting the chickens out accidentally, because the dogs think that the chickens are the most fun squeaky toy they've ever seen. But so far, no big problems. They're just excited and big. Anyway, so we're out here in doing it to them. So we're out here in our alpaca pasture, and so we'll start with our 5 girls out here.
This is Mocha. She's the youngest alpaca we have. This is Marshmallow. She's the boss.
She's a little bit of a jerk.
This is Pumpkin. She's the biggest alpaca we have. We were also told after we trimmed her fleece up, that her fleece was very hard to work with. So, and that's Macy. So
She's the tallest one we have.
Tallest one we have. And back there is Linda. She's the shyest one.
Very shy.
The whole time we've had her, she's only eaten out of our hands like maybe 2 or 3 times. She and Macy came from a much bigger alpaca farm that didn't do a lot of, personalized handling. So, more like livestock than pets. Unlike Mocha, who came from a little tiny farm. Very sweet.
Very sweet.
Marshmallow, Pumpkin, and Mocha are Surrey alpacas, so that means that they get those sweet little curly cues.
You can see on Marshmallow's back, she looks like an Angora goat.
Macy and Linda in the back are Wakayas. So that's more of like your typical traditional alpaca.
A little fluffy Q-tip. So alpacas are actually really good pasture animals. They only have bottom teeth that curve up, and they have a hard palate on the top. So when they eat the grass, they're able to like grab it and then cut it from the bottom so that they don't tear the grass up when they eat it. And they also do not have, they don't have hooves. What they have are little toenails. They have 2 toenails on each foot and like a pad at the bottom.
They're worried about what the dogs are barking at. So when the dogs bark, the alpacas think that the dogs are trying to alert them to a problem. So they all get very alert and attentive.
Even though usually they just bark at nothing.
Yeah, so stupid.
So we keep our alpacas as mainly pets. We did have some of their fiber processed this year when we had them shorn. And that actually sold real quick. So next year I think we'll get all of their fiber processed, you know, just to mainly offset the cost of their feed and stuff like that. We made the mistake of starting them on really nice second cut Vermont hay, and then when it came down to it, they wouldn't eat anything else. So now we have to make quarterly trips up to Vermont to pick up hay for them. No big deal, because it actually ends up being cheaper than the hay around here anyway. And we also use their manure in all of our gardens, and I think it has definitely made a big difference in things growing for us. Everybody who comes over asks what we do with them, and
Marshmallow's hungry.
this is pretty much it. We do feed them, by the way.
Yeah, and it's funny, in case you've never like been around alpacas before, you would think for how big that they are that they eat a lot. Our dogs eat so much more than they do. Each one of the alpacas gets what, like half of one of those.
They don't get a whole lot of grain because otherwise they can't digest it all that well. So that's why they eat mostly grass and the hay. They slow down on the hay in the summer when all the grass is nice and green and healthy. And then when it gets toward winter, they will start eating a lot more of the hay. And the second cut hay is what we use for alpacas. That has more nutrients than the first cut hay, and it's like a little less dense and easier to digest than the third cut hay, as far as I know. I learned a lot more about hay than I ever thought I would this year.
And this is about an acre that they live in.
Yeah, so our whole property is just under 2 acres. And you know, we fenced this area in before we got our alpacas, just knowing that we wanted some kind of animal. And we were able to have 5 medium-sized animals on our property. So that's what we got.
And in case you have goats instead of alpacas, goats are troublemakers and they'll try to bust through fences.
Yeah.
Alpacas don't do that.
No, alpacas actually really enjoy the comfort of a fence. They never try to challenge it. So even just this really simple 3-railed fence works for us.
Oh, and also, if you're familiar with llamas, how they spit at each other, alpacas don't really spit at people. So that's nice. Isn't it, Mocha?
The other good thing about alpacas is that they will only choose a couple of different places to poop. So it makes, you know, they don't go all over the yard, they just pick a couple places. So it makes it a little bit easier to clean up after them. All right, so now that we've introduced you to Pumpkin, Mocha, Marshmallow, Linda, and Macy, let's go introduce you to the chickens. This is the chicken coop that's closest to our house. We got a whole mix of chickens. You, I believe, are a well summer. There's a chicken on a swing back there.
Yeah, it's nice that that chicken's giving us a demo right now.
So we had a lot of chickens in here. We had some chickens in here, and we supplemented with some French copper Morans and well summers. Still waiting on you to lay some eggs, by the way. But anyway, chickens. This is Norman, our rooster.
Norman, say hi.
So we got him from a place that had a bunch of roosters, and he was just a little bit low on the totem pole. But now he's here, and he is the only guy in a sea of ladies. So he is now high man on the totem pole. This chicken right here, which is a Appenzeller Spitzhauben, I think they're called. Her name's Fajita, and when we first got her, she was being picked on a lot by our original group.
Everybody was jealous of her hairstyle.
Yeah, so she actually lived in the house with us for a little while, which was interesting. Chickens are a little bit messy for indoor pets, but that was cool. But so her and Norman actually had a little baby. So we keep our chickens in runs that are fully fenced in, and we haven't been shutting them in at night. We're considering doing that now just because we've had some predator issues. But so we have let them free range in the past, but you know, with the dogs and all of the predators in our area, it does get a little bit tough to let them go. So we'd rather have them all be safe than let them free range. We make sure to give them, they get all of our kitchen scraps, so any veggie leftovers or off cuttings, anything like that, they get all of that. We give them hay whenever we can, so they have stuff to pick through.
Say it again.
That was good. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, do you remember what Egypt is called?
That's, I believe Egypt is an Egyptian Fayumi. So this little guy right here, that's Fajita and Norman's baby. So you can see she's got Fajita's top hat, and she's a frizzle like her dad.
Excuse me, ma'am. This is River. We got her as a feral cat. She's not feral. She's a little feral right now. There we go. So we got her, there's a lady in Reading who rescues feral cats, and she has like a dozen cats at her house, and then she tries to find new homes for them. So we got her to try to deal with the mice problem that we may or may not have. Oh, I'm also highly
I can't believe you just did that.
I'm gonna be full of regret.
Yeah.
But she's so nice. There's
Yeah,
like
she's
all the
nice.
people I know who have like house cats.
This is the nicest one.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere near them. Sometimes I'll like feed people's cats while they're out of vacation, and I like don't see them for a week. She also went the first maybe month that she was here, she didn't catch any mice, so she almost got fired from her job.
But she has since done a great job.
Yeah. We had a bunch of dead and diseased trees cut down, and his name was Carlos. She was following him around like she wanted to go home with him. It was so funny.
Little boyfriend.
Yeah. She's from the mean streets of where? Stanford?
Stanford, yeah.
Mean streets of Stanford. And she had had a litter of kittens already before
Yeah.
we got her.
They say she's between 1 and 2 years old. River the barn cat. All right, so we are now back here by our bee yard. And so we'd like to individually introduce you to each one of our bees. We have Matilda, Griselda, that's not Griselda, Drusilla, and Monica, and Linda. Oh no, Linda, that's the other time. I'll introduce you next time. But so we have 3 hives. We have 2 that we got from packages, and I'll link a video up in the top that you can see of us installing the bees. Very nervous my first time, much more comfortable with them now. And then we actually caught a swarm using a swarm trap that we built. That's the one right in the middle. And they're doing okay right now. We're treating them for mites currently, so we don't want to disturb them too much. So yeah, we've learned a lot about beekeeping this year. It was our first year beekeeping. So far everybody's doing really well. Queens are laying a lot of eggs. Everything's looking good. So yeah, we didn't take any honey this year, so they can have all of it for surviving over the winter, and then hopefully next year we can get a couple crops of honey. All right guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please give this video a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, and as always, please subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.